In a busy mall, a man and a woman reach for the same pair of black gloves. But there's only one pair left. Jonathan sees she really wants them, so like a gentleman, he lets her have them. To thank him, Sarah invites Jonathan for dessert. At the cafe, Jonathan finds himself completely captivated by her. Before parting ways, he builds up the courage to ask for her contact info, but Sarah believes in fate. If they're meant to be, she says, they'll meet again. Then she hops into a taxi and disappears, leaving Jonathan alone in the cold, heart sinking. Feeling lost, Jonathan heads for the subway, until he realizes he left his scarf at the mall. He runs back. At the same time, Sarah also returns. She forgot her gloves. She finds Jonathan's scarf just as he walks in. And just like that, fate brings them back together. They head to an ice rink, share laughs, talk about their interests, and grow closer. Snow begins to fall. The rink empties out, but they can't bring themselves to leave. Then, Sarah slips and hurts her arm. Jonathan gently tends to her wound. He notices the freckles on her skin, and playfully connects them with a pen, forming the constellation Andromeda. He even tells her the story behind it. Sarah is clearly touched. Jonathan has won her over. She writes down her number, ready to give it to him, but just then, a passing car blows the paper away. Jonathan panics, asks her to write it again, but Sarah refuses. To her, it's fate intervening. Instead, she gives him a $5 bill and tells him to write his contact on it, then immediately spends it. She also writes her info inside a book she plans to sell. If either the bill or the book finds its way back to them, it'll prove destiny is real. Then she pulls Jonathan into a hotel and suggests they take separate elevators to random floors. If they end up on the same one, it's fate again. As the doors close, she tosses him one of her gloves and finally says her name. But Jonathan's elevator is hijacked by a kid pressing all the buttons. By the time he reaches the floor, Sarah's gone. Fate gave them a chance, then snatched it away again. 5 years pass. Both are about to get married. Jonathan is busy preparing for his wedding, while Sarah receives a proposal. But neither of them looks truly happy. Jonathan still checks bookstands, hoping to spot the one with her message. He hears someone shout "Sarah" on the golf course. His heart skips, but it's just a staff member. Coincidences keep piling up. His barber is named Sarah. A street performer sings about Sarah. Everything seems like a sign. Then one day, Jonathan finds the black glove. Inside it, he discovers a receipt from the glove's purchase, containing Sarah's card info. With help from a store clerk, he traces it to an address near the dessert cafe where they once met. Meanwhile, Sarah hasn't stopped hoping. Every time she gets change, she checks for Jonathan's handwriting, but always ends in disappointment. Still, she can't let go of what they had. She wants closure before marrying someone she doesn't love. So she visits the dessert shop again, using her best friend Eve's birthday as an excuse. Eve sees through her and reminds her that fate doesn't exist. Sarah knows that, but she can't help hoping. Then something incredible happens. Eve receives change from the cashier. Among the bills, Jonathan's $5 note. At that very moment, Jonathan arrives at the same cafe. But once again, they miss each other. What's the greatest distance in the world? Being right next to someone, yet invisible to them. Jonathan skips his own wedding to find Sarah. Sarah leaves her fiancé behind to find Jonathan. Even after 5 years, neither can forget the other. They know they can't spend their lives with someone they don't truly love. But fate keeps playing games. And once again, they pass by, just out of reach. Staring at the wedding dress in the shop window, Jonathan feels crushed. Maybe it's really over. Maybe it's time to go back and get married. Meanwhile, Sarah bumps into Jonathan's fiancé. Turns out, Eve and the fiancé were college roommates. She casually invites Eve to her and Jonathan's rehearsal dinner tonight. But Sarah has no idea that the groom is the man she's been searching for all along. Sarah returns home alone, only to find her boyfriend lying in the hallway. He missed her too much and didn't have a key, so he waited there all day just to see her. Back at the hotel, Jonathan goes through the motions at the rehearsal, distracted and distant. His fiancée senses something is off. Jonathan quickly explains he's just nervous. To calm him down, she gives him a gift, something he's always stopped to look at but never bought, a familiar old book. Jonathan opens the first page. To his shock, it's the book, Sarah's book. Her name and number are written inside. Without hesitation, he grabs a friend and tracks down the address. That night, Sarah is out walking with her boyfriend. They wander back to the ice rink from years ago. As she looks up at the stars, she remembers how Jonathan once traced Andromeda across her arm. At the same time, Jonathan reaches Sarah's home. He peeks inside, and sees an intimate scene. Crushed, he turns away, thinking it's over for good. But what he doesn't know is, the woman inside isn't Sarah, it's her twin sister. The next morning, Sarah is set to travel with her boyfriend for a work trip. But just before boarding, she realizes she grabbed Eve's wallet by mistake. While trying to pay for headphones, she finds the bill, the one with Jonathan's number on it. Without hesitation, she bolts off the plane, follows the address, and arrives at Jonathan's place, only to be told he's getting married right now. Sarah races to the hotel, but the wedding seems to be over. Devastated, she nearly gives up, until a staff member tells her the ceremony didn't happen. The groom never showed. Overwhelmed, Sarah breaks down in tears. She sees Eve off, choosing to stay behind alone. Eve encourages her, don't give up on happiness. As Sarah watches her friend leave, a chill hits her. She remembers, her jacket is still on the park bench. Somewhere else, Jonathan wanders back to the ice rink, lost in thought. There, he finds a jacket lying on the bench. He picks it up and walks to the center of the rink. Snow begins to fall. Memories rush back. Then, suddenly, a glove falls from the sky. He turns. Sarah is standing right behind him. You might think love at first sight only happens in movies. That you'll never find something this magical in real life. But maybe, just maybe, fate is real. And if you ever come across a love like this, don't be afraid to fight for it. Just once, be brave, for love.